What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. We are back. We are back, and we are doing Follow-Up is Forever. T-minus 10 minutes. Go register for it. You can go to any of my social media profiles, click on the link. You will see the button that says Follow-Up is Forever. It is happening in 10 minutes, 9 minutes to be exact. It's going to be on Zoom, but you have to go register to get the link to be in. I've got a presentation, a really special one for you guys for this month's Follow-Up is Forever event. I do it every single month. Follow-Up is Forever it's a series that I do. And so I talk about different topics and systems and scripts and all the things every single month for the Follow-Up is Forever event. It happens every third Tuesday of the month at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific. So it's happening in T-minus 9 minutes. So go register. And the only way to get the link is if you go register. So go to my profile page, click on that, and click on the Follow-Up is Forever to register for that so that you get the Zoom link. It's different than watching me do it live because I actually have a fun presentation. You're going to get slides. You're going to see all the things and the visuals that happen with what we're talking about today. So excited to join in with you guys. If you have questions, throw it in the chat, but it's happening here in a few minutes. I'm going to be getting set up for that. We've got a full hour set out today. And yes, Stylish Bear, I have a little surprisey poo for you on today's Follow-Up is Forever. You're going to know. You're going to know when you see it. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. Okay. You might hate it or you might be like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. She hates surprises. I shouldn't do this to her. I'm only going to make you wait 8 more minutes to find out. It's okay. It's literally like not that big of a deal. It's just like a little fun thing that I did. And I think it's going to be great. Okay, let's get our Zoom link set up. So if you guys are just joining, go register for Follow-Up is Forever. It is different if you have the Zoom link than just being live because you're not going to get to see fun things. And you're not going to get to interact with all the people in the room. So if you have not registered yet, you need to go register to get the Zoom link to get in on the Follow-Up is Forever event that I do every single month, third Tuesday of the month. So let's friggin' do it. Do it to it. We're hopping on there now. Calendar. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, Stylish Bear. Oh, I think we're good. Never mind. Okay, we're going to start this meeting ahead of time because I'm responsible like that.
Recording in progress.
Woo, recording. Also, want to make sure that everything is set up. We've got all the things. I also need to see participants, let people in. Okay. Ooh, cute. We already had some referral activity in the Have Collective 2 in the Discord. Ooh, fabulous. Love it, love it. Oh, we have Bob Saget in the waiting room for Follow-Up is Forever. Super stoked for our special guest. Who knew? I love it. Okay, so we are starting in T-minus 5 minutes. So if you are on my lives and you want to join, which you should, Follow-Up is Forever. If you're in real estate or honestly any real estate space for that matter, any business that follow-up is important, this is going to give you the scripts, the structure, the systems, and we're going to talk about all of that today in T-minus 5 minutes. So hop in there, go do it. So how you get there is go to my profile link, register for the Follow-Up is Forever event today, and then you're going to get the Zoom link. So that is how you get in. And we're going to have lots of fun today. We're going to learn some stuff. We're going to implement. We're going to have some interaction. Going to be a good time. Okie dokie. Waiting for that. Whoop, whoop. Okay, cool. One moment, please. Got to make sure I got all my things, got the water. Sick. Okay. We've got people popping in here. All right. So since I'm doing this on Zoom, you guys go register on there to pop in here. I'm not going to be actively looking at the chat on whatever platform you are on that's live right now. So I won't be able to throughout the event see what you're popping in the chat. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just in Zoom and I've got that chat and audience members in there and a whole thing going on. So let's get this party started. I'm going to start letting people in. We're going to start having some fun and doing the things. All righty. Oops. Okie dokie. We've got that. Cool. All right, let's go. Let's get it popping. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hey. Is that Bob Saget?
One of the good foreign languages, bonjour.
Bonjour. It's Tuesday. We're having a great day so far. Where are we? Just because, we're here early. You guys are we got some more people. We've got the AA students showing up a couple minutes before start. Appreciate you guys. Marketing magician, surprise. How cute is this little slideshow thing? I did it myself. Courtesy of Canva.
You're doing great. Who is Bob Saget? Because I'm obsessed.
I know.
Oh
right?
my gosh,
like,
why is actually alive from his flight? He's still alive from his flight.
I have no idea how bad it was. It was really bad.
Why? You texted me the other day. I text you back and you never text me again.
Oh, I was texting you because Meg had put like lashes and stuff on me and I was going to show you. It was the middle of the night and then everything got crazy and I didn't know what was up from down or side to side. So and my phone got answered for a good few days there. I literally puked on the plane because the turbulence were so bad.
I do that all the time.
I don't know. I have never.
We're all aware. We are live on like 4 different streaming services.
We're having a great time.
I have never ever had a bad experience with a flight up until that point. I was shaking so bad from anxiety. They asked if I was having a seizure. Nope, wasn't having a seizure. I was having a panic attack. So it was a really great time.
Wow, stunning.
I had to take 4 different trains in Boston, 2 different buses.
Stunning.
Tell the tale. So stunning.
Stunning, literally. All right, what's up? We got a few more people in here. What's up, Bob? What's up, Juan? What's up, Nicole? Letting her in now. Jeremy, marketing magician. Wyatt, Jeremy. What's up, squad?
What's up? What's up?
We are T-1 minute. Can you guys just rapid fire? Where do you sell real estate?
Maine and Houston.
Kansas and soon to be Missouri.
Woo!
Oh.
Gabby, Juan.
How iconic is it that like 50% of your team has licenses in more than one state?
Actually, pretty clutch. I mean, it makes
Hey, by the way, I recruited 3 people.
Ooh, that's exciting. I love that. I'm here for that. Love it, love it. Well, we are right on the dot. I might give 1 more minute for my, my little late to the party baddies to show up, but I'm excited for you guys. We have lots going on. Oh, Juan, you're in New York City. Heck yeah.
Jen, give it about 2 minutes.
Okay.
My girl.
Let's do it. I mean, I was gonna do that.
She's feeling given today.
Fashionably late, but worth the wait. That's what I like to say. That's what I like to call it. Okay, cool. Well, are we feeling good, you guys? Are you feeling like I'm ready to follow up forever? I hope you are, because that's literally what it takes to be successful. And thank you for turning on your videos. Love to see you.
You don't want to see me.
Oh, I do. Unless you got your birthday suit on, then you know what? You keep it off video.
I'm folding laundry. I look like shit.
This is so influencer coded. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join the live.
I'm just waiting for a few more people. We are gonna get started. Hey, I love a folding laundry moment. We got multitaskers in the chat. That's what's up. Okay, cool. So we know where you sell real estate. How many years have you been in the business? You can put it in the chat. You can call it out. We'd love to kind of get a feel for who we got in here.
I think 3, something around there.
Three.
In 1 week and 2 days, it'll be 5 years.
Ooh. Gabby's got 6 years in. Nicole, how many years are you in? Juan, Bob. Who else do we got? Marketing magician. How many years in real estate have you been? Almost 2 years. Okay, cool.
Almost 5.
Almost 5. I have been in the game for over
You really think
13
we've only been
years.
doing this for 2 years?
Did I say 2? No, that was Juan. Juan hasn't been in it for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I've been in the game for over 13. It's weird to be like, I've been in this for over a decade. That just sounds like 9 years. Nicole, you're right there on almost a decade.
It'll be a decade in January. It's coming up quick.
It is. It is. Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started. So welcome in, everyone. So happy you're here. I am Jen, and this is Follow Up is Forever. So today we are going to shift how you think about sales, your relationships, and the consistency around all of that. Because whether you're brand new or you're 10 years in, 9 years in, whatever, if your pipeline feels dry or your clients go cold or you're tired of chasing people or them ghosting you, well, you have a follow-up problem. So let's turn your videos on if you can. Microphone's off for now. Feel free to, you guys can go off in the chat. Make sure to stay engaged because I will be asking for chat participation throughout to help this info stick with you guys. Let me let these people in real quick. Oh, we've got Joe. Joe's joining the chat. What's up, Joe? Glad to have you. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so let's do this. Before we go any further, though, I want you guys to hear this. You are not bad at sales. You are just not great at staying in the room long enough to actually win. And you need a system to simplify your process. Okay, so if you identify or feel anything that you see on the screen here, like if your pipeline feels dry or leads are ghosting you and you're tired of chasing without the conversations, it's not a sales problem, it's a follow-up problem. And that's good news because we can fix that. So let's actually talk about what we're not doing today. Today is not about a class on email drips. It's not going to be a CRM tutorial. And we're not just going to say just checking in type stuff anymore. So I want you guys to drop in the chat. What do you think is your number one struggle with follow-up right now? Is it ghosting? Is it consistency or lack thereof? Not knowing what to say? Is it a scripts thing? What is your number one struggle with follow-up right now? Organization. Wyatt, I hear you on that. It's a lot of agents' problems. What's your number one struggle with follow-up? Even if you're not sure if it's all of the above, just pick one that you feel like consistency. Yep, we're going to fix that today. Getting ghosted. Perfect. All of these things we're going to touch on. If you're just joining, we're talking about what is the number one struggle that you have with follow-up right now. Fear on being annoying and a long-term follow-up plan. Perfect. You guys are literally, it's like you're writing what we're talking about today, making it sound canned. Okay. Yep. That's definitely a very common problem. Perfect. Okay. So if you haven't put it in there, go ahead and feel free to put it, what your number one struggle is. So what today is going to be about is a full mindset shift and the tactical walkthrough to help you understand why your follow-up feels forced or fake, and learn the strategy for converting leads, and yes, even old ones, to create a business of repeat and referral clients. Raise your hand if that's exactly what you would love, right? Scripts also to build real relationships that keep clients loyal for life. That's the ideal scenario. And we're going to do it without ever saying just following up, just checking in, or any of that weak filler energy. We are done with that. This is about showing up with a system that gives purpose, makes you stand out and convert with value, not pressure, so that people actually want to stay in your world even long after the close. So we good with that? Okay. So let's
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I freaking love it. Thanks for the energy, my guy. All right. So let's talk about why you hate follow-up and what it's actually costing you. And I want to start here because it is actually the root of the problem. And most people hate following it up, not because you're lazy, okay, not because you don't care, but because it makes you feel awkward or rejected or desperate. If you've ever opened up your phone and saw a lead that you hadn't messaged in a while and you're like, ugh, now it's too late, it's been too long, you know exactly what I mean. But the kicker is most agents stop following up after 1 or 2 messages or calls. You guys, the average lead needs 6 to 12 meaningful touch points before they actually convert. Most people just stop way too soon. So speaking of that, what's stopping you? You guys literally already mentioned a lot of these things. Fear of being annoying or ultimately rejected, right? That's ultimately what's going on. We worry that we're bugging people, but guess what? You're only annoying when you're irrelevant or not providing value. If you're actually helping, they're not going to be annoyed. They're going to be grateful. Number 2, some of you mentioned this, a lack of a system. A lack of a system equals decision fatigue. If you don't know what to say or when to say it, you're going to burn out trying to just figure it out every single time. No wonder you're exhausted. And then imposter syndrome. This is a big one. You hesitate to follow up because part of you thinks, why would they want to hear from me? Why am I the best choice for them? There's all these other agents out here, right? Let me be clear. You are the value. And we're going to dive into that a little bit later. And then the last thing is old scripts equal modern cringe. Raise your hand if you've ever said just checking in and then you cringed afterward because you know you're not supposed to say that. saying just checking in is the follow-up equivalent of a bad first date. Okay. It's low effort, it's vague, and doesn't respect the other person's time or your own. So put it in the chat for me. Which one hits the hardest for you? First, we got to identify it. Cringe. Yes. So put it in the chat. Is it fear of being annoying or rejected? The lack of system, imposter syndrome, or cringy scripts? Which is the hardest for you right now? Cringe. Yes. Let's, we're trying to get out of that here. Feeling cringy, imposter syndrome, imposter for sure. Yep. That was one of my biggest ones.
I usually say, hey, I'm sure you probably don't remember me. You probably had a lot of realtors call you since the last time I called you, and they're usually like, yeah, man, you guys won't stop. And then you have something to talk about.
There you go. Done. Then you explain why you're different. Love it. Okay. So let's fix that. This is what I like to call the hype follow-up framework. It's a full follow-up strategy that I have taught to top producing agents. And these agents close 6 to 7 figures annually without sounding like a spam bot, which I know a lot of us feel like that's what's happening, especially with ChatGPT. If you don't know how to use it and you're just using scripts from the 80s, that doesn't make you sound like a modern agent. So the step 1 of this framework is to learn their emotional narrative. Before you ever send a second message after your initial conversation or have that second call, you need to understand one thing. People do not buy logically. They buy emotionally and then they justify it with logic. Super important to understand that. So what is the emotional pain point or motivation that they have? We need to learn how to ask better questions. Are they overwhelmed by moving? Even if you don't specifically ask that, you can deduct some of this stuff from the way that they're speaking. So are they overwhelmed? Are they scared of overpaying? Are they sick of landlords? Do they want to start over after a divorce? Take notes during every single call or showing that you have with them or message thread back and forth and use that info in your follow-up. You have to be taking notes on that stuff and you have to be putting it in your CRM system and using that. CRM systems, that's a whole nother class. But you got to be tracking these things and understanding that people make decisions emotionally. So you have to appeal to that in order for this to work. Okay. So an example of using an emotional based script would be like this. A bad way to do it is just checking in to see if you're ready to buy, right? How many of us have done that? I've done it too, right? Early on, oh, I'm just checking in. Oh, just seeing if, right? Apologetic language. Instead, here's a way better way to say it. Hey, you mentioned you were feeling stuck in that lease and now your kids need more space. I found a place I actually think would really fit and be a big shift for your family. Want to see a video walkthrough of it? That's much more powerful. That's emotional engagement with what's important to them, and it's actually follow-up that converts. So what I want you guys to do, just pick one. All of these things are going to be easy. It's going to help this stuff stick. Pick one of your active leads right now and write yourself a better follow-up line using this emotional narrative script. So what is one, we all have them, right? Pick one person that you can think of, write their name down, that after this, you're going to use this emotional script of, okay, what's important to them? What questions have I asked? What notes do I have in my CRM? And what could be a follow-up text message that I could send to them that utilizes this and utilizes the emotion of why they want to make that move. Okay?
I have a perfect one, but I already texted it.
Oh, well, then done. You're done with your homework. See, A+ students showing up early, doing the things before they're even assigned. Who is this guy? Okay. So the next step in this is to use a contact with context. Okay. Every message should feel like a continuation of a real conversation that you've had, not a restart of the conversation. Okay. If they told you something a week ago, then reference that. Or if they opened up about something to you, then honor what it is that they opened up to you about. So the formula is, you said this, I found this, thought of you. Do you want it? Okay. So you mentioned, insert whatever detail it is. I came across blank, a resource, an opportunity, an article, thought of you. Let me know if it's helpful. Do you want me to send that your way? Okay. So that's the framework that we have. Feel free to screenshot that and move on to the next slide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. So here's a couple examples of this. You said you were unsure about neighborhoods. I built a quick Google map with pros and cons. Do you want the link? You said this. I'm offering this. Call to action. I saw this place with a big fenced yard and thought of you and Luna. Want me to send over a quick video? And I want to pause on that for a second, because think about this. If all you did was swap your just checking in text for context-based follow-up like this, you would already be ahead of 90% of agents out there. This is not difficult, you guys. It's one extra minute of thought put into it rather than just checking off the box that you followed up, right? Throw me an emoji in the chat if you think making this small tweak to your follow-up strategy would give you better results. Just throw an emoji. Yeah, facts. Yes, marketing magician. Small tweaks, you guys. This stuff is meant to be simple. I want you to be able to practically take this and implement it right away. That's the whole idea of all of this. Let me see those emojis. What do you guys pick? Jeremy. He's like blank emoji, nothing. Okay. So step 3 is we want to build a touch point timeline. So let's break this down by rhythm. You don't need 37 CRM tags. You need a repeatable flow. And this is where you stack voice notes, curated listings, memes, resource documents, just low pressure check-ins that feel actually like you're building a relationship with people. Okay. This is very, very simple. Feel free to screenshot this. This is what you can do with every single lead. And not only is this for a time frame of leading up to setting the appointment, it's actually also applicable for the period after you have the appointment with them. Okay. So day 1, after you have the initial conversation with them, this is your flow. This is your follow-up plan. You send them a voice memo like, hey, so excited to meet with you guys. I'm excited about your move that here in Florida in the next couple months. Really quickly, are there any favorite neighborhoods that you've seen so far online? Okay, so you send a voice memo, excited to connect, ask a relevant question, get engagement from them. A couple days later, send them an email, send them something of value, a PDF, a home search list, or school zone type stuff, right? So I'm even giving you examples of the script or deliverable in here. Then day 7, send them a video text. I'm a big fan of the video text messages, you guys. Implement this in your business and your conversions will skyrocket. So put up your phone, doesn't matter if you have makeup on, doesn't matter what you look like, who cares? Tell them a personal story or a case that are like, hey guys, I was actually just thinking about you. I was driving by that neighborhood that you texted me about last week and it looks awesome. I'm going to check out this area for you. I'll send you any properties that I think might be a good fit. Okay. Week 2, the next week, just call them up. You can invite them a time. This could be a time like, hey, you know what? I know you're not moving here until the next couple of months. Do you want to hop on a quick Zoom call and we can kind of go over the whole process, take a look at the things that you've been seeing online and we can chat about any questions you have. Okay. There you go. Boom. Week 2. Or excuse me, week 3 through 6, you can, a combination of call, text, emails, send them something funny, non-real estate related, insights about the property, a market update, any of those things, boom, appointment set. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And then ongoing a combination. You just rotate through all of these. And in the script and deliverable section, if you just rotated through all of that, that is relationship building. That's where you stack all of these things. And again, if you look at this, this is not complicated. This is simple. It's just, you're flying around off the seat of your pants. And yeah, you might have a thing that comes up of, oh, I should call this person. But imagine in your CRM system, you took 30 minutes to just copy paste this in there. And then boom, when you talk to a lead, you initiate this campaign, and then it reminds you on all of these days and gives you an idea of what to say. Agents ask me all the time, you guys, how long do I follow up for, Jen? The answer is easy. Until they buy or sell a house with me, until they pass away, or they tell me to F off. Otherwise, that's it. Those are your 3 basis points. How long should I follow up? There's your answer. And for the people who do buy or sell a house with you, you continue to follow up. And we're going to talk about that stuff too. Follow-up is forever. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay. So step 4 of this is we're going to flip the script from being a chaser to a connector. Okay. The best follow-up isn't transactional. It's transformational. It's not about convincing or begging them. It's about positioning yourself as the guide, not the desperate salesperson. Okay. People can smell commission breath. When you shift your tone, your posture, your message from please work with me to here's what I've got that can help you, people are going to respond differently. So the first thing is think of yourself as the prize, not the pest. Okay. A lot of agents come into follow up with the subconscious belief that I need them more than they need me. You got to flip that. You bring the expertise, you bring market insight, you bring strategy and timing. You're the one solving their $400,000 problem or their $800,000 problem. Okay. Your follow-up isn't asking for attention. It's offering transformation. You've got to stop treating follow-up like a performance and start treating it like a prescription. If they came to you with a problem, you following up is just you following through. Just like if you were to show up at the doctor's office and you're say, hey, doctor, my arm hurts. And he'd be like, okay, well, you know what? I'll check in with you. What do you think you need? What do you think? No, he's gonna be like, okay, I have the tools. I have the knowledge. I went to school. I have the degree. I've seen this before. We need to do an x-ray. And oh, looks like you have a broken arm. We need to put a cast on it. Right? You wouldn't expect anything different than that. That is your job as well as a real estate agent. And then the next thing is use permission-based language. Instead of hard asks, try empowering them by using invitations. You're not begging them, you're giving them options. Like, would it help if do you want me to keep you posted on this? You want a quick rundown on what I'd do if I were in your shoes? So these flip the conversation around from a sales pitch to actually collaboration with them. So how about normalizing the quiet periods? Not every lead will respond right away, and that's fine. You don't have to make it weird. So what do we say when there's that gap in timing, or maybe you didn't get the information you needed in the beginning, and so you just aren't really sure, right? So something you could say is totally get that life gets busy, just wanted to keep you in the loop, not trying to pressure, just making sure you've got what you need when the time is right. Okay, that's not apologetic. That is not being weird or salesy. That's actually showing up with value and getting the information that you need to help them the best. This takes the edge off. You're not chasing them. You're just staying consistent, present, and professional. Okay. And then you want to lead like a consultant, not like a clerk. Okay. This is not customer service. Most agents follow up with, hey, are you ready yet? And have those vibes. Instead, you want to act like a consultant who's mentoring the market on their behalf. When you think of a consultant, what do you think of? I think of a company hires a third-party person or company to come into, they pay those people to come in and to give them advice and to give them direction, to give them guidance, point out the pain points, point out the gaps in their scenario. How do we get from where we are to where we want to be? You are the consultant for your clients. For example, hey, 2 homes in that area just dropped in price that you're interested in. If timing's on your mind, it might be worth a quick conversation to game plan that, right? Or based on what you told me last month, I spotted a couple shifts in the market that could be worth knowing about. Do you want a 60-second breakdown? This repositions you as proactive, not pushy. We also need to drop the check-in crutch. The hard truth is just checking in is your way of asking for attention without actually offering value. It's being the pick-me girl, okay? So swap it with something they told you with adding a market shift, providing the value with what they told you, okay? Or a story or insight from another client, a customer, or a custom resource. So an example of that would be, hey, remember how you said schools were a priority? I actually mapped out a few top rated districts with homes under 550,000 that are in your price range. Want me to send that your way? Okay. Or, hey, last time we talked, you mentioned being overwhelmed by options. I pulled 3 listings that I think simplify things big time. Want to take a peek? Okay. And all of these things, these examples I'm giving you, follows the flow of what we're talking about. And also give them an exit. Ironically, giving people permission to say no actually makes them more likely to say yes. And this is where real confidence comes in. So saying something like, totally okay if now's not the time. Want me to check back in a month, or would it be better to pause for now? That's leadership energy, and it builds trust fast because you're acknowledging what's going on and the fact that they might not be ready yet. Again, not pressuring, you're just providing value, being there when the time is actually right for them. So when you chase, you lose leverage with them. When you connect, you create loyalty. This is how you go from just random check-ins to actual real closings. So in the chat, I want you guys to drop a word that you're going to stop using in your follow-up starting to today. And you know what your word is, or what the thing that you kind of cling to. Is it just? You need to get rid of just in your verbiage. The checking in thing, still interested. We want to cleanse our follow-up vocab and replace it with things that actually help. Just, definitely. Yep. Just seeing if, Alex, good one. Just seeing if you maybe wanted to start back over. Yep. It's apologetic. It's pick me. What else? What else can you commit to completely removing for it? And you guys, this takes practice. This does not come easy. This is something that you have to be aware of. What are, just like filler words, right? Mine is I like to say a lot. And so I have to be very, very aware that that is my filler word and to not use it, which is why I listen back. If I talk or have a webinar like this, I listen and I count the ums. And okay, when do I do that? When am I more likely to use those things? And if I have that habit, I have to be conscious of it. And then I have to make a decision to stop doing it. Yeah, of course. It's another good one. Do you guys want to know what the top 5% of agents do differently? They keep showing up after the sale. And this is where a lot of agents drop the ball. So maybe you're someone who is like, hey, I'm a high producer, but something I really, really lack is the follow-up after the closing. That was me. When I first started, I sold 50 homes when I first got into real estate, my very first year. And I was a churn and burn agent. And I did not have a system, a process at all for follow-up after the closing. Then 4 years in, I started to realize that the majority of my closings were actually from my past clients and referrals. And I'm like, oh no, I need to switch up my game here. And I need to start paying attention to the people that are coming back to me and the people that are referring me business. So your post-closing follow-up is just as important as as your business grows, it's going to eventually be even more important or just as important as your follow-up to getting them into the conversion spot. Okay. So the top 5% of agents, they show up after the sale. This is where your competition either disappears because you're doing it really well, or where your competition beats you. And where your brand loyalty and your referral business and your recurring income explode if you nail this. So let's talk about this. So day one, this is again, screenshot this if you want. Day one after the closing. Send them a video text message, a congrats. Say, hey, you guys, so happy for you. I'm really, really glad we got this done for you. Hope the move-in goes well for you. I'm going to email you a what's next guide to help you with your move. Okay. And then you email them, have a document, have ChatGPT help you create this of like what's next in the stage of when you're packing everything up and moving into this house. Okay. Just a helpful guide. You got a video text and an email. Then a week after closing, you can text them or call them and say, hey, are there any surprises or questions that you have so far now that you've gotten a chance to be in the house for a few days? Then a month later, email and text them, invite them to a webinar or a value check-in, invite them to something. If you've got other things going on, if you don't have an event happening, you can say, hey, do you want a market update on your area? I know you've been a month in there. You're probably curious about what's going on in the market or where things have headed since you purchased. Okay. And then month 3, send them a quick text and request a testimonial. This is a phenomenal time to ask for a testimonial because they're moved in. They probably got all their stuff unpacked and they're settled and they're past all of the stress of making the move and all the closing stuff. So I love to ask for testimonials a few months in once they close on everything. Okay. Give them a fun template to do it. Make it fun and exciting. Okay. Month 6, a few months later, send them a holiday message, a home evaluation. That's a great time to do it 6 months later, or send them an invite if you've got a event that you're hosting. And then ongoing, which means forever, right? Because follow-up is forever. You can do any one of these things, personalized touches. So get their birthdays or anniversaries, their move-in anniversary. That's always something that I set in my CRM system, is their 1-year home anniversary. And every single year when that hits, I send them, hey, it's been 1 year since you purchased. And then that's when I set the next one for the year later. And hey, 2 years in this house, how are you loving it? You still liking it? That gives you a reason. And then they can expect it every single year. Then you are going to be top of mind when they are ready in 5 years, 7 years, or maybe 3 years, or they get a job relocation randomly. They're going to be thinking of you because you're doing this on an ongoing basis. Cool. Thank you in the chat. Yes, if you're already in the Hype Collective, which we'll talk about later, all of these things and more are in there for you to capture. So here's another pro tip. Send just short thinking of you updates when relevant news drops, like interest rates or new comps come on the market or market shifts. So if you are somebody that farms a particular area, whether it's a zip code or a county or whatever, that's going to apply to a lot of the people that you sell real estate to. Most of us are experts, or we focus on a particular area. Those are also really great reasons to, on a monthly basis, be into our past clients and sending them relevant information, right? Cool. Okay, so let's talk about some real world scripts practice and objection handling, because through all of that, and that's why I created an entire section around this, is because you're going to come up with some objections, right? We have the scripts that we should say, we've got the systems of follow-up, but also you're going to experience objections all throughout that process. So I broke it down into a simple formula that you can repeat and practice over and over. It's called the mirror and offer insight formula. You repeat their objection, you empathize with it, provide a solution and a call to action. That any single objection that you get, this is the process that you can do. Okay, so for example, so the template of that is totally get that, whatever their objection is. A lot of my clients felt that way too, until we insert solution, or until we resolved it this way. Do you want me to show you how that played out? So an example of that would be, totally get that you're concerned about interest rates. A lot of my clients felt that way too, until we broke down the cost of waiting. Want me to show you how that played out? Okay, so that's an example of one of them. I want to give you guys also just like 3 objections that we hear often, right? Let's say you have a buyer that ghosted you. Anyone? Anyone else? A buyer? Maybe you showed them a house, okay? And then crickets after you showed them that house. How we're not going to follow up is just following up to see if you're still looking. A way better way of doing that is, hey, I know timing felt tricky last time. No pressure. I just saw a new place that's quieter than the others you didn't like in your price range. Want me to send you the walkthrough? Okay, here's another one. A cold lead from 3 months ago. Maybe you haven't reached out, or you didn't do the follow-up you're supposed to be doing. We're not going to say still interested in buying. We're going to say, hey, was thinking of you when I pulled a CMA for another client near that neighborhood that you liked. Things have shifted a bit since then. Want a quick recap to help you get a feel for today's prices? Way better. Casper the ghosty lead will keep following you. Yes, Jeremy. Okay, and another one. Here's a third scenario for you. How many of you had sellers that, that have said, we're just not ready yet. The timing's just not right. Okay, we're not going to follow up by saying just checking in to see if you're ready to list. We're going to say, I know you were thinking fall might be the move. Just saw 2 places in your area go under contract in less than a week. If you want the inside scoop on timing, happy to break it down in 10 minutes, no pressure. This is something that I would highly recommend doing on any seller that especially has objections about seasonality. Okay, you could do this at any time. And again, it's leveling up instead of, just checking in to make sure that fall is still the time frame. This follow-up that I just gave you way levels that up. Because if you just say that, is it fall still the time? Yeah, like it probably is. I mean, maybe something might change, but this puts you in the driver's seat and giving them actual valuable information to say, hey, this is what's going on right now. It looks like some activity is picking up. If you had a choice, would you actually move sooner? Because it's looking like things are changing or things are a little bit different. I think you should know this. And again, it doesn't mean that they're going to move the time frame up at all, but they might based on what you're saying. So you're the guide, you're the person that's educating them on what might be the best time frame based on what it is that they need. So you guys come in the chat, or you can come off mute if you want. What's another objection that you've heard that's different from these that we can respond to using this formula? Let's do a real life example of how you can do this for literally any objection. And in fact, if you wanted to be real A+ about it, if you just wrote down every objection that you've ever gotten from a buyer and a seller, and you use this formula, let's go back to it real quick. If you use repeat the objection, empathize, solution, call to action, and you did this for every single objection you've ever heard, your conversions are going to massively increase. Okay, so put it in the chat. What other objections do you guys get other than these ones that we already talked about? And let's just real time do this. Okay, we've got, do you really want to miss? Okay, that's not. Waiting on a lawsuit that will determine whether I can sell my home. Okay, cool. So that's a real actual objection. Okay, that's not an objection of like of misinformation or them just having an idea. That's like a genuine objection of a timing thing. Okay, so here we go. Let's use this framework. Let's go back to it of repeating it. Like, hey, totally understand. I know you guys are still waiting on the final decision in that lawsuit. I know you're probably stressed with all that going on. Wanted you to find out about that. So Manny, in that example, the solution piece of that could either be keeping them updated on what's going on in the market, maybe finding something positive that's happening. Like, hey, I'm starting to see things pick up. It looks like there, more inventory is coming on the market, or homes are selling faster, or whatever. Or it could be an article on lawsuit stuff having to do with real estate, like whatever either item of value or solution for that. And you obviously don't have control over the lawsuit, right? So it might just be an item of value that would be helpful for them. And then call to action. Do you want me to send you that article? Or do you want to hop on a call to have a quick update on where we're at with things? Or do you want to chat about what I'm doing to prepare for you for that, so that when you are ready, I'm ready to go? Okay, here's another one. I'm waiting for home prices to go down. Perfect. Okay, I like that one. Hear that a lot. Or I'm waiting for the market to get better, right? So totally get that home prices are, a little bit higher than what they were a year ago. Completely understand. A lot of my clients are asking that same question. What a lot of them don't know is that as soon as the prices go down, a flood of other buyers are going to come into the market and cause competition to increase. So would you like to hop on a call and chat about how the differing and the shifts in prices might affect your situation? Okay. So, and again, I'm just coming with these off the cuff, but do you see how you can utilize this process on every single objection that you come across in real estate? And you're going to be even better at it if you go through this process before you get that objection in real time. Cool. Anything else? You guys understand? You get the process. And the more that you practice this and the more you do this, it'll become like clockwork and easy for you to do just off of the cuff. And you won't have to read it. You won't have to look at it. You won't have to think about the 4 steps. It'll just be ingrained in your brain on, oh yeah, totally understand that. Can totally understand why you're like this. Here's the solution. What's the next step? You guys feel the flow? Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So you guys might be thinking and feeling like, okay, I get it, Jen, and I understand where you're going with that, but I need the whole system and I want it done for me. I want the scripts. I want the help implementing these concepts. Well, you're not alone. And that's actually exactly why I built the Hype Collective, which I mentioned earlier for you guys. And what this is, it's a real coaching program. It's not fluff. It's not theory. It's not random tips. Inside, you guys are going to get my full-blown follow-up and nurture system. So templates, scripts, automations, plus we show you how to use ChatGPT to level up those systems and how to use all of that. You're going to get live coaching with me twice a month, every second and fourth Tuesday. Also, you get access to the vault. This thing is insane. It's a huge collection of documents, systems, scripts, templates, processes, courses, literally all the things that you can implement into your business, and post-closing systems to build a brand around your business, like what we were talking about. And then one of my favorite things is access to the private community in my Discord channel that's exclusively for the Hype Collective members only. So it's modern, it's high converting, it's stuff that works. So I'm giving you guys today who showed up to my Follow Up is Forever event, use the code FOLLOWUP20 if you want to get 20% off of that. And more than that, do this and invest in yourself for peace of mind, for consistency, for your career longevity. It's important to not only know that you need to do these things, but implement it and then have accountability around it. That's why we have the community in the Hype Collective, because follow-up truly is forever if you want a business that lasts. And the agents who master that, they don't burn out. They build empires. So we need to stop burning out. Like, it doesn't mean that, oh, you'll never experience burnout if, you implement these things. It's just, you're not going to experience burnout way before you even get successful, right? Every time you level up, every time you get better at something, you're going to have new roadblocks. And then you're going to have to figure out a new system or leverage in order to get past that. So that's the idea of what we've built around the Hype Collective, is to hit you at whatever stage that you're at in your business, whatever it is that you need. We have a tool for that. We have a resource for that. We have a community you can lean on. We've got accountability around that. We've got live coaching in it where you can do Q&A. We can actually talk about the real stuff that's going on in your business so that we can help you with that. And all of that starts with follow-up. We want to make sure that it doesn't just feel like a chore, but it feels like you're showing up as somebody that your clients can trust. And you're confident in that the value that you're providing them, in the timing and the scripts that you have, is actually relationship building. Jeremy, I've caught myself just wandering in the vault sometimes because there's so much in there. Yes, you guys, it's insane. And it's not just the vault. The reason why I don't just do coaching and leave you at that, or just give you resources, or just sell, a course or whatever, and not just the community to ask questions. All of it's important. You need to be in rooms with people that are doing things at a level that you want to be at, that you can look up to, that maybe you can help as well. So it's important to have a community of people that are like-minded, that are driven and want to be held accountable and want to get better. And that's why you guys are here. So I wanted to offer that to you guys. Wanted to make sure we had plenty of time for Q&A. And so, yeah, now is the time. Put your video on, take yourself off mute, put it in the chat, whatever you want to do. I want to answer questions for you. If you want me to go back and readdress, or you have questions about any of the systems or the processes that we're talking about, or scripts. And by the way, when you join the Hype Collective, all of this stuff and even way more in depth is in there. I only have so much time on these ones to go over just high level stuff, and to give you what I can. But yes, Marketing Magician just popped the link for the Hype Collective in the chat for you guys if you want to check more about what that's out. Let's see, what else do we got? But yeah, feel free, you guys. This is your time. Ask me questions about anything that we chatted about today. Also, and feel free to interrupt me as I'm thinking of things to tell you guys. But every single month, I do this follow-up is forever, and it's different every single time. I go over different aspects of it because I think follow-up is the number one most important thing in your business. It's lead generation and lead follow-up, right? And most people are going to tell you lead generation is the number one foundation to your business. And I used to think that it was lead generation is 1A and lead follow-up is 1B. But my opinion over time has actually switched on that, because you could have hundreds or thousands of leads in your CRM system or in your phone or on your social media platforms. But if you don't follow up with them, you don't have a business. So you can find leads anywhere. You can, there's white pages, there's whatever, like you can go get phone numbers, you can go get leads, but if you don't follow up, you aren't going to have a business, which is why I created a literal entire series on this every single month that I go after. You're welcome, Nia.
And it's so true, because follow-up is I never realized how important follow-up was. And because I've been in real estate for 5 years almost now. And since using follow-up, it's changed insanely. And especially using the vault and being with you and learning how to adjust my follow-up to not be so hey, sorry to bother, hope you're doing great. People forget, people get busy. And if you're not staying top of mind, you're not going to, just if you're at Costco and someone gives you a sample and you're like, that's really good. And then you go shopping, even they follow up. They're like, hey, did you like the sample? You want to get a bag here? You're like, oh, I did, but I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. Appreciate it. So I don't know. It's crazy how much it changed, how much of an impact follow-up really does make.
Absolutely.
It's mind-blowing.
No, that's a great analogy, because how many more sales? I would love to know this stat of how much more revenue that Costco gets by just giving out those samples, right? So think of the samples that the people at Costco hand you as you offering value to your clients in the follow-ups, rather than just having the Costco people. It's not enough for them to stand there and be like, oh, you should buy these breakfast sausages. They're really good. You should try and buy them. Did you want to buy these breakfast? No, it's hey, not only are they telling you about it and they're showcasing it, but they're actually letting you taste it. And that I would love to know the numbers on that.
You just made me make a connection between like follow-up and marketing, because like if you think about it, every single advertisement you see or every single billboard about everything is literally just follow-up. Like if we didn't have McDonald's commercials or McDonald's signs and we never like drove near one, we'd forget about it. Or if we didn't see Trader Joe's signs or anything like that, or if we didn't see TikTok things or anything, literally anything, we would forget that it exists because follow-up. And we all live busy lives. We'll have, kids or house or cleaning or, like events going on, things like that. Like literally everything in life is follow-up. And McDonald's isn't saying, hey, I'm so sorry that you're driving, but make sure if you want to, like maybe like take a look at our sign over here. They're saying like, hey, look, we have what you want. Come and get it.
Absolutely.
And so we have to do the same thing.
And speaking of social media, I didn't even touch on social media and follow up here. I'll probably do a Follow Up is Forever event surrounding social media in the future. But you guys, your social media profiles are your billboard to the world. You can reach so many people utilizing your social media. And guess what? Just like if you only made one call to a lead and never followed up again, is the same thing as you posting once and then falling off for a few weeks or a few months and then getting back into it. You cannot expect results from any follow-up strategy if you're not consistent at it. That's why you need a system, you need the automations, and you need the value all layered within that system in order for this stuff to convert, in order to actually truly build relationships with people and to get referrals and to have them or have you stay top of mind, whether they're reselling or rebuying or they're referring you when their friends and family talk about them having to make a move.
Well, you just made me think of with the example you were given. For those of you who've driven through the South before, Buc-ee's, they will start within like 250 miles, start saying the next Buc-ee's 250 miles away, 225, 200. And they're not only keeping it in constant mind, they're building up that anticipation. They're building up that sense of urgency. What the hell is this? I've got to experience this, which is part of what good follow-up does, is it creates that sense of excitement and urgency.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking about this as well. And now that we were talking about this, is that like for everybody in here, because I know that like me personally, I'm sure a lot of agents and everybody that's in here is like, you probably have somebody from like 2 to 3 months ago who you haven't followed up with. So like Jen, what, in your opinion, what would be the best way to reestablish that connection without seeming like, hey, what's up? Sorry, I haven't talked to you in a month. How's it going? How are the kids? How's the weather?
Yes, no, I'm glad you asked that. I'm actually going to skip back to this here. Let's see. So part of that is not being apologetic about it. Oh, here it is. It's in the beginning. So when we were talking about the emotional based script with that right here. So mentioning something in the past, like let's say you drop the ball on follow up, right? What you don't want to do is, hey, sorry, I know no apologetic language, just again, re-enter the conversation, not as if you're starting over, but as if you are continuing the conversation. So just that mindset flip will help you then in what to say. But hey, I know a few months ago, you were mentioning that you were feeling stuck in your lease or you were thinking about maybe making a move because you're kind of outgrowing the thing. I actually found a place. I was thinking about you. Is this still on your radar this year? So again, not being apologetic, but instead, the best thing that I do, my go-to is to mention something that I know about their situation, whether it's been 6 months have passed, a year has passed. And trust me, over 13 years of selling real estate, I have dropped the ball plenty of times on leads. I have struggled with follow-up. I have, ghosted my own pipeline before. And the best response I get when I just re-engage, and you know what? Sometimes, when you drop the ball, the answer is, oh, we actually already bought a house. And you're like, damn it. But you know what? Use that as fuel to be like, okay, there is gold in my CRM system. There is gold in my phone, in my contacts. There's gold in my social media. What can I do to re-engage? Or if you have nothing, or maybe you didn't take notes, go to their social media profile pages and text them. Hey, I just saw that your kid just graduated from kindergarten. Congratulations. That's awesome. Are you guys planning on still making that move? I know we talked a while back. Is that still on your radar? So it's your energy is going to response that you get. And the more apologetic you are, the more hesitant you are, the less confidence and trust that they're going to have in you. Did I answer your question, Wyatt?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And also, Alex, who asked about like from an open house, you already know one thing. They were looking at a house of those details. Flow with that.
Absolutely. Did someone else say I have a question?
In the chat.
Oh, in the chat. How would you recommend following up with someone that you don't know any details about? Example, someone from an open house that did not share any information about their current situation or what they're looking for. Perfect. Okay, but what do you know about them? You know that they cared enough to go through an open house in that area. So a great follow-up that I might not do, or that I might do with these people, is to send them, so take that property that they came to the open house in, find in that neighborhood similar houses that are active and listed for sale, and say, hey, I know you visited my open house on 123 Main Street. Not sure if that's something that's still on your radar, but I found these 5 other houses that match the criteria of that one. Are any of these of interest for you, or are you still looking to purchase a house?
Hey, Jen,
Yeah.
should we be very generous and give them one of the Hype Vault templates?
Ooh.
Because I got one. I got one right
fabulous.
here.
Okay.
You're good.
So you got an open house. You got an open house lead.
Absolutely.
This is from Jenn's Vault. Hey, whatever the lead's name is, there's some exciting news in this neighborhood, the neighborhood that they had the open house in. It could be a new restaurant, a business, whatever, just opened, and it's getting a lot of attention. If you're interested in moving in this area, now's a great time to explore. Let me know if you'd like to see some of the homes nearby. Oh,
Boom.
Stunning.
There you go. Absolutely.
If you meet somebody,
Vault.
if you meet somebody, even if they're over the phone, or even if you meet them at an open house, or even if you meet them at Walmart, there's always going to be something that you can use. Like, say if you meet someone, they're like, oh, I kind of want to buy a house. And then like you give them your card and they text you like a month later with their name and you're like, oh, I met them at Walmart. Think back and be like, oh, hey, they had a kid's bicycle in the car. Be like, hey, I saw you're buying that bicycle. Did your kid ever get a chance to ride that bicycle before the weather got crappy these past few months? Or has your kid been enjoying riding that bicycle? And who knows, they could be like, oh no, that was for my niece. But still the conversation was opened up. Could be about anything.
Safety. If you're looking for safety, which I think is what most agents, especially if you're at an event like this, you're looking for safety. You're looking for a way to not look that cringe, that feeling. Local events are the safest topic there is. Local general events, a like farmers market or blah, 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 whatever. Local events are super, super good. Like there's a fun event at blank location this weekend. It's a perfect chance to check out the vibe of this neighborhood. This is great for open houses too. If you're free, let me know. We can catch up on your real estate plans too. I'd love to show you some homes while you're exploring the area. Hello, that's an appointment.
Hello.
Also, this is pro tip. It's a little off topic, but it's about open houses. So imagine you're hosting an open house, right? What if you brought with you the MLS printouts of 3 to 5 other listings that are active in that same neighborhood? And let's say you have a person that comes in the open house and they, like you said, Alex, maybe they didn't give you any information or they're very reluctant to tell you about their situation or where they're at. What if you're like, hey, if this one doesn't actually happen to work out for you, there's these other houses that are on the market around this area. Are you looking to move here? And hand them that and make sure that those MLS printouts has your contact information on it. So it's asking for more information that's safer. Again, speaking of safety, those are safer questions. They don't make you look cringy. It makes you stand out because other agents aren't doing that, right? Most people think, oh, you're there to promote that open house, but you know what? You're really there to get buyer leads. Okay. Yes, if it happens to sell the house, great, but less than 2% of open houses are actually the reason and cause for people to buy a house. It's really a convenient way to let people in all at once so that showings don't have to get scheduled, and for you as the agent hosting the open house to get buyer leads. So treat them as such, which is why you need to have a and by the way, those follow-up strategies and systems that I showed you, they work for any lead type, any of them. So figure out, or just think of small ways like that of like, how can I maximize on this? How can I get more leads? How can I follow up better? How can I stand out? Those are the types of things. And we go over lots of this kind of stuff in the Hype Collective, of course, but you made me think about that on the topic of open houses.
And also, this is a good example of what we kind of go over in the Hype Collective too. The concept of, I don't know anything about them. Not true. That's always like, remember, if you've met someone in any place, you know one thing about them. If they didn't tell you what they were looking for, but they were at the open house, you don't go to an open house that you're not interested in the type of style that house is. They obviously were interested enough. And so you can say like, okay, this is a craftsman. I'll text them 2 more craftsmen in a similar neighborhood area. They gave you more information than without speaking at an open house, arguably, than they would on a cold call or something like that. Yep. So you know what style of house they'd be interested in, because they don't just show up to a house if they have no interest in the type of style of that house. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to go to a Mediterranean style open house ever. That's not my style. You know what I mean? But like, you can pretty much guarantee that somebody took time out of their day to actually get in the car, get ready, drive somewhere, interact with other human beings. They are of interest in that style of home, most likely. Same thing. But if they didn't put in an offer or didn't say they were interested or liked it, you know that that's not what were the things that didn't work for you about the house you saw today? Great follow-up question. Yep. Because if they didn't put an offer, they didn't like something about it. Now you can help them find what they need. Mm-hmm. Yep. Same thing with, and then with sellers, because sometimes you're going to have looky-loos at open houses, right? You have, nosy neighbors that want to come and look in, and a lot of agents fluff those people off like, oh, they're just nosy neighbors. No, that is a lead you can follow up with. Even if they're just looking, maybe they're looking because they want to sell their house and they're comparing their house with this one. Even if not, even though, oh no, we moved here 5 years ago, we love it here, whatever. But you can put them on your monthly newsletter about that area. You can follow with it like, hey, so glad meeting you at the open house. I have a lot of buyers that are looking in this area. Let me know if you ever are considering selling, because I work with a lot of people in this area. And then then you implement that follow-up system. They would like to know, what are prices doing? Even if they're not looking at moving right now, it would be of value to them to know what the market's doing in that neighborhood. It would be valuable to them to know about events going on in the area. It would be valuable to them to know what new businesses are opening up or what discounts that certain restaurants or whatever that people are offering. So there's no matter what the lead is, no matter what their timing is, again, follow-up is forever. If you want to build a business, you are going to follow up with every single person that's living, breathing, and has not told you to F off or have passed away. And if you're struggling with what to say, join the Hype Collective. It's a simple solution because there's all kinds of plug and play templates, scripts, emails, email templates, ChatGPT courses. Like, the Hype Collective vault is comprehensive. So if these are the types of questions that you're asking yourself, we already built it out for you. So come on through. 20% off. It's that easy. There you go. There's the code. Follow up 20.
A lot of this is just simple observations. You're interacting with people. We're not asking you to go all Jane Goodall like her in the field with the chimps and everything in very detailed notebooks, but just writing a few things down for the next time you interact with them and keeping up to date with your CRM so that you do remember this, so that you do have this stuff at hand, because you aren't not going to remember it all.
I mean, honestly, it's not difficult because if you have kids or if you have ever been to a social interaction, if you see that person again, you're not going to look at them and be like, I don't remember anything about you and I really don't know what to say to you right now. You're going to literally pull something out of your ass and just lean with it, rock with it. And that's the same thing the follow-up is. Because if you have kids and you saw this one lady who you've never met before at the, the soccer game, and you see her again, you're going to be like, your name's Jill? I don't remember you, Jill. You're like, oh my God, hey Jill, how's it going? Are you guys still living, over on this street? Are you guys still going to the soccer games regularly? Like, you don't just fluff off every single person you ever met, and in public interaction, you're going to remember something. Oh, is your hair different? It looks really good. I love it.
That's a great safety. Oh my gosh, did you do something to your hair? You look so good.
Yeah, exactly.
And also don't forget, hey you. Oh, hey you. Or there he is, if you don't remember their name. Exactly. People love there he is, there she is. I am telling you right now, you walk into any room and someone comes in and you don't know their name and you go, there he is. People will literally be like, oh, who is this? I love this person.
But just don't get into your head about it, because you do it every day. You've done it at least 500 times in your life up to this point, and I'm only 24, so I can guarantee that everybody in here probably has done it more times than me, and I've been alive not as long as a lot of people. So,
Stop calling me old, Wyatt.
I'm calling you old specifically, Daddy J. Bone Saget. Specifically just you. Everyone else, you've probably done it less than me because you're all younger than me and gorgeous. But, you know, we've all been doing this for so long. We've all been alive. We've all done it. Don't overthink it. I know I did. Don't be like me. Be better. Be like Jenn.
I tell my son that every day.
Don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. No, don't do that. All right. Do you guys have any other questions before we wrap up? Look at me being on time. 5 minutes early. I always go over. Cool. Okay. Well, make sure you get yourself 20% off if you are not already in the Hype Collective. Would love to see you guys there. Also, make sure to register for next month. We're going to be going over different things every single month with Follow-Up is Forever. So check that out. Also, if you go to my profile link on any of my social platforms, there's a ton of resources for you guys. I have courses for sale. I've got free events that are happening. I've got a podcast. If you guys go check out my YouTube or my Spotify, it's called The Hype Seat. So if you want to be interviewed or you want to check out the interviews that I've done, feel free to go there. There's lots of places to get connected, lots of resources for you guys. So check out that profile link and stay connected. So thank you guys so much for joining. It was great connecting with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Okay, what's up? We're still live. How we all doing? Oh my gosh. Hi, my TikTok peeps. Hi, everybody that's live. What's up? Oh, Jessica, are you still here? Yay, Jessica's here. Woohoo. Raven. Oh, I missed you. Okay, let's see. Raven wants to join. Let's do it. Oh, thank you, Stylish Bear. Appreciate that. Yes, you guys, every single month. Hey, girl. Every single month. So you guys do not miss it. Go to my profile link, register for the next one. We already have the next one set. It's every third Tuesday of the month. We do the Follow-Up is Forever. So that event, and like I said, I change up the topics. I change up the things that we talk about surrounding follow-up because it is the lifeblood of your business. So that's why I focus on that and talk a lot about that. I coach and train real estate agents all the time. And other than mindset and confidence in yourself, follow-up is a key aspect in that, which is why it is what I help people focus on. Your lead generation strategies, your follow-up systems, and your confidence. Those things, if you've got those down, then you probably are going to build a pretty amazing real estate business. And if you don't, that is why I created the Hype Collective. So go check that out. For those of you that just joined and were there for the Follow-Up is Forever event, I'm giving you guys a 20% off code, Follow-Up20 for that. So yes, go to the link in my bio to learn more about all the things that you can get with that. So if you go to my profile link and click on the Hype Collective, it'll bring you to a website that'll just tells you all the things that you get. And then at the checkout page, just make sure you apply the discount code first, Follow-Up20, and then that'll update the pricing and you can either pay monthly or for the full year up front, whichever works best for you. So go check it out, you guys. Thanks so much for joining. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Tuesday and the week. Go do your follow-up. And as always, stay hype.